So this is for physical science with Joanna Bellis. My room on campus is 204. If you were driving by on 7th Street and you saw the construction going on that building on the corner of Palm and 7th, that's the science building, the old science building that they were remodeling. My room is in there. If we happen to come back during the school year or during the semester, my room will be in there. We'll be sure to guide you to the right room. You can call me by my first name. I'm not going to require you to call me Mrs. Bellis. You can go ahead and call me Joanna. So welcome to class. This is the agenda of the things that we're going to get through and get covered today. Welcome back, online etiquette, class expectations, teacher bio, syllabus review, Google Classroom, and your first assignment, which will be Flipgrid. So first, I want to say welcome back to school. I know right now we're distance learning and it's a weird time to not be in a classroom face-to-face. I know we ended last year with distance learning and it was very tumultuous to say the least. But we're going to try to do better this year. And I want to just tell you that we're going to make mistakes, but we're going to learn together. We're going to figure out what works, what doesn't work. So just give yourself some grace, give the school and your teacher some grace, be patient. Just know that we're learning right alongside you and we're going to figure things out and what works and what doesn't work. But we're glad to have you back in school and hopefully we'll be able to go back to in-person learning soon. So online etiquette. So because we are learning from home, there's like a tendency to have like a gray area. Are you in class? Are you not in class? What are the rules? You know, at home, we tend to relax. We tend to be in like our chill mode. So I just want to kind of go over the etiquette. Etiquette means like the behaviors, the way that you're supposed to behave, like your manners online. So we are a Google school. So I prepared this presentation, these posters that I will be posting on Google Classroom for you as well to look over. So Google Meet, this is what we're using right now. This is going to be the main way that we are communicating with each other, the main way that class is going to happen. So it's going to be a live. So I want to go over the expectations of what I expect for you while we are doing this. So we are here 6th period. Everybody should be awake by this time. But for your other periods, make sure you're waking up early enough to log in. You're not scrambling to get things done. And then it's a good idea to kind of log in a few minutes before your class starts, maybe 5 minutes before, just in case something happens. Maybe the link isn't working. Maybe your Chromebook isn't turning on, technical issues, whatever it might be. If you log in a few minutes before, then you have time to try to figure it out, to troubleshoot it, to send an email to somebody to say, hey, this isn't working. Maybe your internet's not working. You got to figure out somewhere to go or a way to get signed on, hotspot it, or whatever it might be. So just keep in mind, logging in a few minutes before would be a good idea. And then I want to talk about a place for you in your home where you can study. You want to try to find somewhere quiet. Now, I know not everybody has the luxury of having like an extra room in their house where you can designate as like an office or a study room. You might not even have your own bedroom. You might have to share with siblings, cousins, whatever the situation might be. But if you can find somewhere, a spot in your home where the distractions can be minimized, where you can always designate it as your study space, as your class time, that would be best. So whether that be on the sofa, the kitchen table, outside somewhere, in your bedroom, just try to find a spot where you know when you go there and you're sitting there, that is where you're going to work. And when you're sitting there, you're always going to work. And when you walk away, you know, you're not working in other spaces. That just helps you get your mind into like the I'm in class, I'm working, this is my workspace, this is my work time. And then just be aware, I'm not going to require you to have your camera on. That's completely optional. That's up to you if you want to show your face, if you don't. But if you do turn your camera on, just be aware around your, check your surroundings. So if there's like things in the background or in the camera view that you don't want us to see, just make sure you put them away or they're not in the view. And then come to class prepared. So make sure your computer is charged. Now that shouldn't really be that big of an issue because we're at home, you know, you have access to outlets. In the classroom, it's a little bit different just because of the way that, outlets are against the walls and your desks aren't next to the walls. So people are always fighting for the spots next to the outlets. So your Chromebook should be charged, all the time. Sit next to an outlet if you can, so you can always have it plugged in. That really shouldn't be an issue. And then I suggest if you have a pair of headphones, go ahead and use those. And I can tell you a few reasons why. One, your Chromebook probably doesn't have the best speakers, so you can hear us better. 2, it'll cut out the background noise. If you have us in your ears, then you won't always hear everything that's going on behind you and around you. And then 3, the people in your home, you know, don't always have to listen to your teachers and everybody of what's going on. And then for your presentation, just remember you are in school during these hours. So if you turn your camera on, make sure that you are appropriately dressed. You still have to follow the dress code. Guys, make sure you still have shirts on. If you turn your camera on, you still need to have clothing on. It needs to be appropriate clothing. Make sure you're sitting up straight. That just helps with you, with your your focus and your attention. And then if you have your camera on, don't just turn it on and like point it towards the ceiling, point it towards the wall, point it towards your bed, the floor. Make sure if you turn it on, it's because we can see your face and you want us to see your face. Otherwise, just keep it off. And then when you come into a Google Meet, make sure you mute yourself right when you come in. Only unmute yourself if I call on you or your teacher calls on you. And that just minimizes the noises, the feedback, people talking over each other, just so we can hear each other. Participation, make sure you're trying to be focused, attentive, be an active participant. Try not to have multiple tabs open, clicking away, going to those tabs, playing your games, constantly on your phone while you're here looking at your screen. Try to pay attention the best that you can. I know sometimes we have distractions that get your attention. Try to focus the best that you can. And then for chat, you will notice that in Google Meet, there is a chat function on there. Make sure that you're only using it to raise your hand or to ask a question that's related to what we are doing. It's not social media. It's not time for you to chat and hang out with your friends. Okay, it's for class time. So in there, for your friends, you guys can text each other, you guys can tweet each other, you guys have social media platforms and other things, other ways of communicating with each other. So please don't use school platforms to talk with each other during that time. And then communication, when you do unmute yourself, make sure you're speaking loudly, you're speaking clearly, trying to enunciate your words. The mics on the Chromebooks are probably not the best, so make sure you're trying to speak clearly so everybody can hear you. And then look up at the camera when you're speaking. I know it feels weird when you're looking at the top of your screen and you're talking, but when you look there, it looks like you're making eye contact with us. And then try to stay on topic. Don't unmute yourself to ask random questions about things that aren't relevant and have nothing to do with what we're talking about. And then be respectful, be kind, be considerate. So if somebody's talking, don't unmute yourself and interrupt them and talk over them. Make sure that you're making kind comments. We'll talk about how to have conversations and discussions later, but just make sure you're being kind, you're being considerate, you're being patient, and you're waiting your turn. So that's for Google Meet. For Google Classroom, make sure you're using academic language and professionalism. Google Classroom really is going to be our virtual setting for our classroom since we're learning from home. It's not social media. I know it kind of looks like a social media platform where you can post things and make comments, but it's not. It's our classroom. So make sure you're using complete sentences. You're not putting abbreviations like IDK or TBH, anything like that. You're writing out your words. You're trying your best to spell things. You're trying your best at grammar. Make sure you're using your academic knowledge the best you can when you're on these platforms. And then make sure you're checking it daily. Like I said, this is our classroom. So this is where I'm going to post announcements about assignments, announcements about information in general about the school. Like today I posted our Tiger News in there for you to watch. We will have Tiger News every Friday. So just keep an eye out for our Google Classroom announcements and assignments. And then I'm very organized, so most of you should be familiar with Google Classroom. When you log in to our Google Classroom, in the top center, there's something called the Classwork tab. When you click on that, I'll have all of our assignments and our resources organized by unit and topic. If you try to find assignments or resources that are posted on the main stream, it's going to take forever because it's posted chronologically. So you got to scroll and try to remember when it was posted in what order. If you just go to the Classwork tab and look for the subject or the topic, it's right there. So just make sure you're using the Classwork tab. It's the easiest and best way to find stuff. Make sure you're submitting assignments on time using the add button. When you're working on your assignments and other things, make sure you're using your school Google account so it saves to your school Google Drive. Don't use your personal accounts. And if you need help submitting assignments, you can either ask a friend, message me, or message Mrs. Wallace, who will be speaking here in a moment. Read the feedback comments left on assignment. So like I said, we're learning virtually. We don't have the benefit of being in front of each other in a classroom. So normally, you turn in an assignment, I would write some comments on your paper, pass it back. You could read those comments, see what you did well, see what you needed to fix or what you could improve in. We don't have that benefit. So instead, when you turn in an assignment in Google Classroom, I will be typing comments on there. It's going to be the same, just in a digital format. So make sure when I return your assignments, you're reading those feedback comments, you're seeing if there's anything you need to fix to resubmit it for a higher grade, seeing what you did well, what needs to be fixed, etc. Email etiquette. So I really want to go over this, and I will be posting an extra resource for you guys on how to send an email. Email is not texting. Okay, so email is the main way that the school is going to communicate important information to you. You need to be checking it at least 2 times a day, at least. What I recommend is that you sign in to your school email on your phone if you have one. It should already come preloaded with Gmail on there. If it doesn't, download the Gmail app and then sign into your school email so that way you have easy access to it. This is how they're going to communicate to you school closure information, how to pick up your textbooks, grading, I mean, everything. Everything that has to do with the school announcements is going to be sent to your email. So you need to be checking this often. When you write the email, it's like a letter. When you type, after you put who you're sending it to, there's something called the subject line. In the subject line, that is not where you type the entire email. That is only supposed to be a short topic of what the email is going to be about. So for instance, if I was going to email you about an assignment, let's say a math assignment, then I would type in the topic speed, velocity, and acceleration problems. That's it. I wouldn't put, hey guys, you need to do your speed, velocity, and acceleration problems. The due date is. You don't put all of that in the subject line. You just put 4 or 5 words tops in the subject line. And then you come down to the body of the paragraph, in the body, and that's where you type all your paragraphs out. And then it's like a letter. So make sure you're always using complete sentences. You're being professional. You're only using your school account to send emails to your teachers. You're using an opening and a closing phrase like dear Mr. or Mrs., good afternoon. And then you're saying thank you, sincerely, etc. And then signing your name at the end. And it would be a good idea for you to put the period that you're in for that teacher, just because in the beginning, we don't know right off the bat, remember what period you're in. So it just helps us remember what period you're in so we can quickly identify you and help you out. And again, I'm going to post a resource for you exactly that walks you step by step how to send an email. And then finally, the last resource you have for communication is Google Hangouts. This is like chat. This is like texting, but you have to remember that this is a school platform. You need to be professional, you need to use complete sentences, and you need to message during reasonable hours. Do not message your teachers 2 or 3 in the morning. You need to wait during reasonable hours. What are reasonable hours? Probably 7 a.m. to before 9 p.m. You'll probably get a response between those hours. Definitely during school hours, probably before 9 p.m. Okay? Make sure you're staying on topic. Don't message your teacher saying, hey, what's up? What are you doing? Make sure when you message us, it's because you have a question about assignments, because you're confused about something, you need clarification, you're curious about something. Make sure you're staying on topic about school things. And then just remember that anything that you're using that is on the school account can be traced and tracked. Okay, so be professional. Remember, this is still school, even though you're at home and you have your Chromebook at home. All right, so that's it for Google expectations and etiquette. So now let me talk a little bit about our class expectations. So my expectation is for you to be able to participate. So what does that look like in a virtual classroom setting? So participation is going to be you asking questions, whether that be right now during the meet, in the chat, sending an email to me, sending a Hangouts in Google Classroom, on a doc when we can chat back and forth on the comments, is asking questions and being active in your learning. Turning in assignments on time, making sure that you're getting those into me so that way your grade doesn't go down. Using the resources that are available to you, including your digital notebook, Google Classroom, and your Gmail account. Being respectful towards yourself, your other classmates, and towards the adults in the room. And then trying your best. Like I said, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to find out what works, what doesn't work. There's going to be times when things are just going to go haywire and we're going to have to troubleshoot and problem solve. And that's okay, because that's how we learn. All I'm asking is that you put your effort in and you learn along the way with us and show us some grace and show yourself some grace. So just be patient. And that's all I expect from you. So let's get into a little bit about who I am. So maybe we have something in common. I grew up in Wasco. I went to all the schools there in Wasco before they turned into K-8 or K-6. I don't remember what they are now. When I went to John L. Pruitt, it was only kindergarten. Carl F. Clements was 1-3. Palm Avenue was 4-6. The junior high, TJ, was only 7 and 8, and then the high school. And I graduated in 2005. And then a lot of the teachers that are at the high school are still there from when I was there. Some of my teachers I work with now, which is a little bit strange. And then after there, I went to Cal State Bakersfield and I got my bachelor's degree in geology. And then I applied for the master's program for petroleum geology. So I'd be working in the oil and gas industry. And right before I finished, I switched over to teaching. So now my master's degree is in science education. And I'm a mother of 2. I have 2 little boys, a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, which is why I'm teaching from home. You'll notice I'm not in my classroom. I am in my spare room. I do identify as LGBTQ. I'm a person of color and I do have feminist ideals. And then I have a very scientific mind. So what does that mean? That means I have to have a lot of evidence. I do a lot of research before I make up my mind on doing anything or believing anything. So what are the things that I like? I like tabletop games. Tabletop games are not like your Monopoly, Guess Who, Clue, stuff like that. It's like Dungeons and Dragons. I like Star Trek, sci-fi, fantasy like Harry Potter, reading when I have a time or a chance to, sewing and crafting. So right now during the pandemic, I learned how to sew and I've been sewing face masks and donating those to people in need, like the Bakersfield Homeless Shelter. And I've been sending them to a church in Texas that is distributing them to immigrants being released from the detention centers. We started a garden in our backyard because even though we were sheltering in place, you should still go outside to breathe fresh air. I love hiking. That's what made me fall in love with geology. I love animals. The first career I looked at was veterinary science. And then I love all things Disney. And then who was I in high school? Like if we were going together right now in high school, what clique would I be in? Who would I be? I was definitely that emo kid, and I still listen to emo music right now. I was a loner. During lunch, I would grab my lunch, eat it quickly, and then go to the library and read books. That is what I did. But at the same time, I was also a leader, and then I participated in sports. I played basketball, and I was a cheerleader, and I did track and field. And I also participated in class activities. I helped build the floats. I helped fundraise. I was very active. So I'm a very weird mix of, I can be an extrovert, so be the life of the party, and I can be an introvert where I could be a wallflower just in the background. People don't notice me and I could just kind of people watch. So I'm just like a weird mix. But I think that's why I can get along with a lot of people, because I have a very fluid personality. And then now I'm going to turn the floor over to our instructional aide, Mrs. Wallace, who is going to introduce herself.
Hi, guys. Am I good?
Let me actually mute myself real quick. Sorry.
All right. Welcome back to school, guys. I know it's a little weird, but I'm excited to see, well, some of your pictures. I am Mrs. Wallace. You can call me Miss Jess. You can call me Jess. I don't care what you call me, just something nice, please. I am an instructional assistant, so I'm just basically here to provide extra support to you guys, help Joanna and make sure that you guys are on track and learning what you need to learn to succeed. A little bit about myself. This is my 3rd year at Wasco High. Before that, I was a veterinary technician, and I worked at the Wasco Veterinary Clinic. I also graduated from Wasco High in 2006. Me and Joanna went to school together, and she graduated with my husband, who also graduated in 2005. I married my high school sweetheart, Jacob. He actually also works here at the high school in the tech department. I have a huge, big, crazy, fun family. They're in the middle picture there. Those are all my siblings and their spouses, nieces, nephews, mom, dad, both my kids. So we are all best friends and just love doing everything together. I have two kids, Paisley, making the silly face there in the corner. She is 7 and just started 2nd grade. And my son Owen is 8 and he's a little soccer player there, and he just started 3rd grade and they go to Maple. My husband and I are both youth pastors. We youth pastor here at Westside Family Fellowship in Wasco. So we really love high schoolers. I work with high schoolers literally in every job that I have. So I really enjoy working with you guys. And I am a proud Army spouse, veteran spouse. My husband served in the Army for 6 years, and with that, we got to travel all over the United States and the world. Lived in Germany for 3 years. My son was born there. We lived in Colorado Springs for another 3 years. My daughter was born there. So that was an awesome time in our lives. We got to kind of explore and do some fun things. My husband did do a tour in Afghanistan. That's that picture with our hero is home. He left when I was 17 weeks pregnant with our first, my son, and came home when he was 6 months old. So that was quite a journey. Get the next one. Things that I like. I'm like Miss Bellis or Joanna. I love hiking. I love exploring, camping. We love riding quads, the lake, the beach, anything outside. I love shopping. This quarantine has been not so good for my bank account because I've done a lot of online shopping and have had nowhere to wear all my new things. I love getting my nails done, decorating my house, hanging out at the pool and the lake. My sister, these pictures in here, some are from the beach, but then most of them are from, my sister lives in Idaho in Lake Coeur d'Alene. She lives right on the lake. So we love to go visit there in the summertime and be lake bums. I love animals. I was a veterinary technician for the last 10 years, actually. I've worked in Germany as a tech and then also here at the Wasco Veterinary Clinic. And because I love animals, we have 5, 3 dogs and 2 cats. The one here in the picture, don't tell the other animals, but she's our favorite. Her name is Tango. And I love tattoos. I have 4. I think they're a fun way to express myself and for people to express themselves. And I love photography. I do photography on the side, weddings, quinces, senior pictures, all that fun stuff. And then what I was like in high school, Joanna will like that picture. I was very social and outgoing, very chatty, as you can tell I still am. I loved school. I was a nerd. I really enjoyed being in school. I love to learn. I love to learn new things. I love to discuss things with people. I love people. I am goofy. I was goofy. I still am goofy. If I annoy you, I'm sorry. I'm just goofy. I was class officer, ASB, social chair. I was class officer all 4 years. I was boy crazy, but with only one boy, the one in the picture. That's my husband when we were, I think, seniors. Or I was a junior. I was 2nd runner-up in Rose Queen when I competed. I was a track athlete. I did pole vaulting and a few other events. And then I was also a football stats girl all 4 years. So I got to travel with the team and do all their stats. And I'm a hardcore FFA member. I still am a huge supporter and proponent of FFA. And that is one of my dreams is to finish my degree so that I can become an animal science and ag education teacher. So that's just a little bit about me. I look forward to getting to know you guys and working with you, and just know that you can always reach out to me or Joanna if you have any questions or need any help with anything.
There we go. Thanks, Jess, for that, for introducing yourself. So we're both available for you guys to assist you in class if you need anything. We'll post our information in Google Classroom. So now we're going to go over the syllabus, and it's going to be real quick. I know you guys have probably heard all your teachers talk about their syllabus. It's pretty boring. I'm just going to point out just a couple of things, especially since this is pre-distance learning. We do interactive science notebooks, but I have to convert those to digital this time. So a lot of the stuff in here is not going to apply right now, because I'm still banking on us going back to school, hopefully. So it has my contact information. I will post this in Google Classroom for you guys, and my email is posted in the banner of Google Classroom. Let me make this just a tad bigger for you. All right. So ignore the materials for right now. Your grading categories, I want to point that out for you. ACES, midterm, and finals are 20%. So if you came from the middle school, you don't know what ACES means. ACES is our midway through test. It's just a term. I don't remember what the acronym stands for, but it's like a benchmark test between the midterm and the beginning of the quarter and the end of the quarter. So you have 4 ACES in the entire year, 2 midterms the whole year, and 2 finals the whole year. Quizzes and unit tests specific to my class are 30% of your grade. Labs and projects are 30% of your grade. The science notebook and other assignments are 20% of your grade. So that's how your grade breaks down. That adds up to 100%. Your school grading scale is a little bit different. I want to point out the D range. Here at Wasco High, we hold you guys to a higher standard. So our D range is only 67% to 69%. Anything below that is an F. Normally, the D range is 60 to 69. So just be aware of that. There's a very short range between a D and an F. D is passing, F is not. So just be aware of that, okay? So we're going to skip over this other stuff because it doesn't apply to us right now. And then you won't need to have that signed just yet. So let me go ahead and read you the course synopsis. So these are the things that we're going to learn. This is like a brief overview of the course. This course is designed to accelerate you to biology with some extra practice in physical science. By the end of this course, you should be equipped with the science skills you need to succeed in biology, chemistry, and physics. We will cover the following science topics: matter, forces, energy, waves, information transfer, and earth science. Now, each year, I have never made it through all of these. We will try our best, but this is what we're trying to get through each year. And again, I will post that in Google Classroom for you, but that is all I wanted to cover in the syllabus. Now, this is going to be our dashboard landing page for you. I'm going to post this in Google Classroom. This is my virtual Bitmoji classroom. I have several links in here for you guys. You can either just type it in your address bar, or you can come here and click it from here. It's completely up to you. For instance, here on my laptop, if you click here, it'll take you to the Wasco High homepage. If you click here on the YouTube button, it'll take you to my YouTube channel, my teacher channel. Right now there's no videos there, but once we get started into our lessons, lectures, tutorials, things like that will be posted there. This is the generic Gmail link, the generic classroom link. Edpuzzle, if you click on it, currently there's nothing there. Once we have an Edpuzzle, that will be set up for you. Quizzes, same thing, it's not set up just yet because we don't have any assignments. And then Flipgrid. Flipgrid is set up because that is your first assignment, and I'll show you how to get into that in just a moment. This is supposed to be my smart board. This will be changing this picture whenever we have assignments. It'll change over to a picture of that assignment. So this is my introductory Flipgrid, which we will see in just a moment. And then I also have some extra resources. So my classroom is a safe zone. I'm an ally. So if you click on here, there are resources for LGBTQ+ and the Gay Straight Alliance. So if you want to look at that, you're more than welcome to. I also have social justice resources here. I have resources for DACA and for Dreamers here. And then there's a little Easter egg here in the clock. And then I will be posting the syllabus here in the books after school today. So these links, like I said, you're more than welcome to click through here, or you can save them in your bookmark bar. It's up to you, but this picture will be changing, and I do have other classroom backgrounds that will be posted later on depending on the assignments that we're completing. So your first assignment for this class will be posting an introductory Flipgrid video, introducing yourself to each other and to Jess and I. So the way that you're going to log into Flipgrid is I will post this in Google Classroom here shortly. You'll click on Flipgrid. It'll open a new tab. Let me log out, sorry. It'll show this screen right here. You're going to click on Join with Google. Make sure you use your school Google account because you'll see I have lots of accounts here. Make sure you choose your school. It'll say login successful. and then you should see this. So Miss Jess already posted hers, and then I posted my intro video. This is your first assignment. My name is. So you'll have 1 minute, 60 seconds to answer the following. You're going to tell me your preferred name, something about you, and if you were able to be an animal, what would it be and why? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play my introductory video, and then I'm going to play Miss Jess's video. And then we'll have you guys go ahead and sign in. If any of you have any errors, you'll let me know. And that should be it. So here is my video.
Hello and welcome back to this school year. My name is Joanna Bellis, and I'm going to be your physical science teacher this year. Your first assignment is going to be to make a Flipgrid video introducing yourself to me and to the class. You need to answer 3 things. The first thing is, what is your first name that you prefer? The second thing is, tell me something about yourself. And then the third thing is, if you were an animal, what animal would you be? So let me go ahead and start off by sharing mine. My name, like I said, is Joanna. I'm going to allow you guys to go ahead and call me by my first name. You don't have to say Miss, you don't have to say teacher, you don't have to say Mrs. Just go ahead and call me Joanna. Something unique about myself, I'm a mother. I have 2 boys. I have a pit bull whose name is Socks. We just rescued her actually this summer. We fostered her and we decided to keep her. I decided to step up and try to help our community by making face masks. I sew them and I donate them to different organizations to help out with that. And then if I were any animal, what animal would I be? If I had to choose, I would want to be a snow leopard because they are absolutely gorgeous and they have the longest tail. And I really want a flippy, floppy tail to wag around. So welcome to the class. I hope that we will have a good year together. I know it's going to be difficult with us starting at distance learning, but I will be here for you to help you however you need support. Please feel free to reach out to me through any of the platforms. Make sure that you're always going back to our Google Classroom to check for assignments, and I look forward to interacting with you.
Okay, and then now we'll see what Miss Wallace posted, and then after this I'll show you how you record yourself and post it.
Good morning, everyone. Hey, my name is Mrs. Wallace, or you can call me Miss Jess. I am the instructional assistant for the high school. My job is basically just to provide extra support to you. If you need more explanation on assignments, help with work, whatever you need. A little bit about myself. I graduated from Wasco High in 2006. My husband graduated in 2005. We have 2 kids. Owen is 8 and Paisley is 7. We have 5 animals. I used to be a veterinary technician, so we have adopted several animals from the vet. And we have 3 dogs, 2 cats. And if I were to be any animal, I think I would choose a butterfly. I think they are absolutely beautiful, and I've always wanted to know what it was like to fly.
Okay, perfect. So the way that you'll record yourself, you'll see right here, there's a red button that says record a response. So there's 2 ways. You can do that, or you can do the big red circle that says record a response. I just pointed at the screen like you guys can see me. And then it'll pop up these directions. Record. You have 1 minute to record your video. This topic is moderated. That means that I will see it first before it gets posted because I have to go through and make sure that it's appropriate. And then you can click anywhere to dismiss it. So on mine, it stretches me out. It makes me wider. I don't know if your camera is going to do that. It might not. It might just be a setting on my laptop. And then you have the choice of putting effects if you want. It does have like frames, emojis, etc. You don't have to if you don't want to. That's up to you. You can, once you're ready, it'll count down. Start recording. Up here at the top, you'll notice this bar. It counts down for your time. The green bar counts down. It shows you the number. When you're done, you hit pause. You can rewatch it. If you don't like it, you can hit redo. If you're fine, then you'll click on next. Start recording. Okay. And so we'll say that it was fine. You'll take a selfie. This will be like the thumbnail. You'll take the selfie. Click next. and then it'll upload your video. And then you'll put your name and then click submit. And then it should say success and complete it. And so it should say video submitted, and it'll be hidden until approved by me. If you cannot get through that process for some reason, you need to email me, reach out to me, let me know, so that way I can try to troubleshoot it and find out what's going on. So once you see this screen, that means it has been submitted and you are good to go. So we have 7 minutes left in class. So I'm going to give you the last 7 minutes of class. I'm going to go ahead and post our Bitmoji classroom into our Google Classroom here, which I'm going to do right now. You can go ahead and record your response and get that done. If you have any issues, I'm going to go ahead and stay in the live. You can come back in and ask me. You can either put it in chat or you can unmute yourself. But otherwise, you are good to go. Welcome to the class. Glad to have you. Enjoy the rest of your day and the weekend, and we shall see each other on Monday. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.